A couple of years ago, my husband and I were going through this situation. You know, it was a really hard situation. There were things coming at us from left, right, and center. And I remember in the midst of that situation, I remember God saying to me, you know, he gave me like 3 names of 3 particular music ministers. And he said to me, every day, I want you to begin to listen to them and just dance. The instruction seemed like a very foolish instruction because things were just going haywire. But guess what? I remember I would wake up in the morning and I would just dance I would put the music on and I would just dance. And I'm sure my children were always wondering, why is mommy always dancing? I'm sure they didn't have an understanding because the situation at hand was so tough. But I remember it made me feel like I was in a bubble every time I put on that music. And what it did was that it really confused the enemy at the time. And why am I sharing this? I found out at the time that what God was wanting me to do was to choose joy, irregardless of what I was going through. And so I want to encourage somebody listening to this, somebody watching this week. I want to remind you to be intentional about choosing joy. Often things will be thrown at you from left, from right, from center, from everywhere. But guess what? Joy is a state of the mind. Joy is an attitude that you can convert. Joy doesn't depend on your feelings. Joy doesn't depend on your happenstances. Joy is just saying, you know what? I don't care what is going on right now. I'm going to choose to not look at the circumstances. I'm just going to choose to depend on the one who knows how to handle the circumstances. And so just like it says in Nehemiah chapter 8 verse 10b, says, the joy of the Lord is my strength. I want to encourage you to choose joy. No matter what happens, choose joy in that situation. You might not know how it's going to pan out, but guess what? You know the one that can handle that situation. And I want to remind you, as you get into that situation of choosing joy, guess what? You find that things will begin to turn around for your good. Have a phenomenal week. And don't forget to choose joy this week. Have an awesome week.